So guys, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, I want us to discuss one reality that I have come to discover. Every time I speak with new drivers, people who are getting into taxi business for the very first time, all of them will tend to give positive feedback until they finish maybe the first 1 year. But everyone who has interacted with me and they have done Uber for maybe less than 1 year, they always tend to have always a positive feedback about the business. And that one, maybe it's normal because, maybe they are enjoying driving. It's a whole new experience. They are discovering the city. They are moving to all corners, meeting new people, and maybe having less, challenging experiences during the first few months. So it is understandable that majority of the people would have a positive comment about taxi driving. But more interestingly, I came to realize that almost all the new drivers, they don't complain about getting rides. They don't starve to get rides. When I speak with the drivers who have been in the sector for 3-4 years, they will tell me that sometimes they can stay for 3 hours without getting a single trip. But when I speak to the new joiners, they tell me that unless they are offline, they will never go for maybe more than 30 minutes before getting the next trip. And what does that tell you? In my previous videos, I have tried to explain that, how can I say, quality of service matters. When drivers deliver customers to their destination, there are two components that are measured by Bolt. I told you the first thing is the star rating. Okay, so when you drop a customer, they will press on the star rating and give you 1 to 5 stars. If you get 1 star and somebody else gets 5 star, trust you me, it is not in vain. If you have 5-star rating, it will have to count. Uber and Bolt, they will never tell you that if you have 3 stars, you will not get trips. But just go and find someone with a straight 5-star. They will never tell you that they struggle to get trips. And that is why when you create a new account, it has all the top star rating, because you have never carried someone before, you have never gotten a negative review. So when you open a new account, your stars are shining. Until you start carrying people and start giving you poor score, that is when your stars start to go down. And that's why all new drivers will not struggle to get trips, because their stars are shining. So anything that I want a driver out there to take very seriously today is to work on your star rating. Make sure that you don't, go below 4.8. Let that be your worst rating. And what can you do to make sure that you have the best rating in the market? Deliver high quality service to your clients. And also, when you drop a client, always remind them to give you a 5-star. Because some of them actually might think, okay, your service deserves maybe 3 or 4 or 5. Just like in school, it would be very difficult for a teacher to give you 100%. Even if you score 100, some teachers just give you 95% or 90%. But in this business, you need the whole 100%. So that is the first thing. The second thing that favors new drivers is the fact that their driver activity, it's called the driver score, it's always very good. It starts at 100%. Okay, and those people who are not familiar with taxi driving, there is the 5-star that you can also see from the side of the client. When you are requesting a ride, you will see the driver has what kind of score in terms of the star rating. But on the driver's side, there is what is called the driver activity score. So activity score reflects the trips that you accept when you are requested, because there are some drivers who don't accept trips. Okay, the second thing is, out of the trips you accept, how many trips do you complete? Because there are those who accept a trip and then they don't complete it. Okay, and then after you complete that trip, what were the compliments? So the star ratings also contribute to your driver activity score, but that one is only visible to drivers. When that activity score is below 60%, your account gets suspended and you are required to take an online course before your account is reactivated, and you are encouraged to, to grow that score until it is over 80%. 80% is now the average. But if your driver activity score, it's something between 95 and 100, I am telling you, you will be a very exceptional driver, and I am sure you will get preferential ride request. Okay. The other important thing is what we call the trip acceptance rate. Okay. So there are drivers who have a lot of, selection, or they are very selective in terms of what trip they want to accept, how much amount of money they want in that trip, what destination that trip will go. So every time there is that activity, that acceptance score that is shown on the side of the driver. So the interest of a driver is to maintain a score that is above 95%. And Uber and Bolt, they always tell their drivers, if you are not ready to carry anyone, don't then go online. Stay at home or just be offline completely. So this is my advice to drivers. I have seen good drivers for 1 good year or 1.5 years giving a lot of praises, doing a lot of great job, paying, partners, in a very punctual way. But beyond the second year, these drivers, they start to struggle seriously. At some point, I had thought that probably it was their attitude that changes, and then they start to badmouth the business, and then that gets into their subconscious, and all of a sudden they dislike the job. But I came to realize that probably that is not exactly true, and maybe that is not exactly the case on the ground. What is on the ground is that the more you carry, the more your poor ratings can, grow. In as much as you need your good ratings to increase, even the bad ratings will catch up, and you'll find that all what I have mentioned, the star rating, the activity score, and the acceptance rate, they will tend to go down. And if they go down beyond a certain rate, then you will be like blacklisted for being treated as, a top driver. So how can you improve your scores? I have told you, and let us do this quick math right now. If you carry a driver, a customer, let's say you carry 2 customers, or let's say 4, 2 will give you, let's say 5 star, and let's say by mistake 2 gives you 1 star. So let us do the average. 5 star is 2 will give you 5 star, and 2 will give you 1 star. So 5 times 2 is 10, and then plus 2 the 2 stars you got, that is 12. Divide by 4, that is 3. If you carry 4 people, your average score is 3, because 2 gave you 5 star, 2 gave you 1 star. So on average, you are operating at 3 stars. Let me tell you, to raise those 3 stars to 5, you will not believe. Just take your math and do the average calculation, and you'll find that you need to complete the next almost 7 trips and get a 5-star rating without a single 1 star. And that is why I told the drivers, if you are carrying with Bolt, you are carrying with Uber, you are carrying with Retro Cab and Faras from time to time, you will get at a point whereby you are unable to raise your scores, especially when they go down. Because to raise your score, you need to carry with the same app the next 10 trips and ensure that you get those star ratings. Okay? And if you don't do that before you complete the 7 trips, so that your score goes back to 5 star, you will get to Uber, then Uber your stars go down, then to Faras your star go down, you get yourself confused. And that is why I advised you, if you are able to identify one app that you can work with continuously, I am telling you, you will find that your stars will shine. Bolt or Uber will treat you as, their priority driver, and they will want to make you happy every day by giving you more trips than anyone else who is just, all over other trips, all over other apps. Do you guys get my point? So tell me what you think. Tell me what is your experience, and let's share these ideas and help one another. Cheers, guys.